Hello, 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 everybody. I am back. Took the entire month of May off and super excited to be back with you for another episode of Coffee with Bridget. And tonight's going to be a good one tonight. Tonight's going to be a really, really good one tonight. I have one of my great sister girlfriends who's an amazing entrepreneur, a motivational speaker. And you know, one of the things I love so much about her is that she is committed to goal setting. And I think that's important. So tonight, I got a lot to tell you. I missed y'all. So listen, I know it's going to take y'all a minute to get back in here with me, and it's okay. It's okay. But I got to get this party started because you already see I'm full of energy tonight. I got my coffee, so we're good. So please help me welcome Wanda Martin. Wanda, hey, girlfriend.
Hey.
How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. We got a lot to talk about tonight.
Okay.
And one of the things that, I want to make sure that we share with our audience tonight, of course, all the amazing things that you're doing. But I want to also give them some things they can leave with. So just before we get this party started, y'all, I got two announcements real quick. I got a couple of things going on I'm super hyped about. So the first thing is that, so I'm gonna ask my amazing producer if he would change the screen and show the next week I am the co-founder of the Philadelphia University Consortium. So next week we are hosting our virtual happy hour. And with the consortium next week, we're focusing on interpreter services. And so that's going to be a great time. So please join us. I'll put the link on my page. It is free. It's great networking, great opportunity. And then also I'm the speaker for the Institute for Supplier Diversity Management. And I'm talking about branding yourself and your executive presence. So two great things I want to invite you to be a part of. So, all right, let's get this party started. All right. So Wanda.
Yes.
Can you just tell my amazing family, because I call my community CEOs, okay, tell them a little bit about you and what makes you so awesome.
Well, okay. Again, my name is Wanda Martin, and I am really into goal setting, and I love. I talk, live, breathe goal setting, and so I love to help just by giving them practical strategies and also self-discipline techniques when it comes to goal setting. And so what makes me awesome, I would say, because I'm authentic, I am who I am. I love being who I am, and I love my purpose. I love what God has called me to do in the earth. And so I think that alone just makes me amazing. I believe when you walk in your purpose, that alone causes you to be amazing. That alone causes you to be awesome. So yeah, I think that's what it is for me.
Understood. So wait, guys. So for those of you who are joining us, thank you for joining us. Please say hello in the comments. So I got to tell everybody how we met.
Okay.
And so what is so amazing is that we go all the way across the state. We go all the way to Aspen, Colorado. And that's how we meet at the Fearless Retreat. So when we live in the same state, not that far from each other, but we met at the Fearless Retreat hosted by the fabulous Arian Simone. And I remember, because I think I came a day late than everybody else. I missed the first night because of travel. And we just immediately had such a connection. Then I got a chance to hear you present, and I was like blown away by the presentation. And so I can't wait for you to share a little bit about, the Goal Setting Academy. Hey, Tina, Enriched by Tina, thank you for joining us. But so let's talk a little bit about mindset, because I think that before you can set goals, you have to have the right mindset. And y'all got to work with us tonight, because it's storming here tonight. It's thundering and lightning. So if we bumper a little bit or get a little, just work with us, okay? We let God do his thing outside, but we're going to give y'all this good information. But, I find that the people that I work with, or people who have come in contact with, mindset shift is so important. Talk to us a little bit about how much mindset shift is important in the work that you do.
Okay, it's really important, especially when it comes to goal setting, because I believe if you have a limited mindset, it's going to limit you when going after your goals. And so your limited belief in really having a mindset to believe in yourself, knowing that you can do anything. I really believe that positions you and it puts you in a place of really being able to set and achieve your goals. And so really just having a mindset.
Right, I agree. So having the right mindset is definitely important. And so with the mindset shift, it's so important that you are crystal clear about what you do and why you do what you do. You have to be able to speak to that and be able to articulate that, especially if you are providing a product or a service. I know for me, when I had my first mindset shift, it took me a minute to break through because we hold on to our beliefs, we hold on to what we know. And when you're getting introduced to something that you don't know, and you move from being comfortable to being uncomfortable, that alone in itself is a challenge. So I remember, when I first had my first mindset shift, it was a combination of me wanting to grow, but also being fearful. Mm-hmm. Not fearful as in believing that that I could do it, but being fearful of what would happen once I did it. And so I think that's why it's so important. If you want success, if you want to achieve goals, you got to have that mindset shift. You got to have that mindset shift. So now with your goal setting strategies, we talk about mindset shift. What barriers do you find that are so hard for those who are wanting to set a goal?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. To me, there are tons, I've been teaching goal setting for quite some time now. And so I've come across tons of individuals who indicate or articulate the mindset limitation that they have. And so one I find is that some people feel as though it's too old, they're too old to have goals. They're too old to have goals. And, listen, you're never too old to have goals. If you just think about it, Benjamin Franklin was 76 years old when he was he 76?
Stop right there. Stop right there. Put that in the comments. I'm like, hey, Tish Bell. Hello, millionaire. Listen, she said Benjamin Franklin was how old?
76. He was 76. I believe he was 76 when he invented the bifocals.
So put that in the comments for me. Benjamin Franklin was 76. Tish Bell, did you hear that? 76. All right, keep going. I'm sorry. I get hyped over this kind of stuff. All right, I get hyped.
Look, the oldest gymnast, whether you know it or not, the oldest gymnast that's in the Guinness Book of World Record is 99 years old. So you're never too old to have goals. And also I find that people feel as though it's too late to be great. So you're never too old to have goals, and it's never too late to be great. I mean, you just look at
never too late to be great. That's a preach right there. It's never too late to be great.
It's never too late. Some people believe that, now they have children, they're married. It's never too late to be great. So that's one of the limiting mind shift that I find that individuals deal with. They feel it's. And so I'm constantly running into individuals trying to get them to shift and tell them, hey, listen, you're never too late. You're never too late to be great. Look, I'm about to be 52, and look, I'm just getting started.
I love it. We just get started, right? So let's talk, for those of you who are new to Coffee with Bridgett, this is where I invite entrepreneurs, and I invite entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and corporatepreneurs to come here and for us to have conversation over coffee. So part of my role as an executive president strategist and a DEI expert is to give you transferable skills and to give you knowledge so that we can help you show up as your authentic self and be the best version of you. And so tying it back to what you said, it's never too late to be great. It's never too late to dream. It is never too late to execute a strategy. And I think what's important to understand is this, and that is if you want anything in life, it starts with you having a mindset shift, and it starts with you having a goal. If you don't have a goal, you will go through life just wandering around aimlessly and never be able to really manage where you are versus where you're going. You got to have a roadmap. And if you don't have a roadmap, then, at that point, you don't really have a goal or a dream. It's just a construct that's not executed. So, all right. So, Wanda, let's talk about goal setting. Walk us through the process of setting goals.
Let's start. You need to know your purpose. You need to know your purpose. And Bridgett said it wonderfully. You need to first know where you want to end up. You need to know where you want to end up. And so before you get there, you gotta start somewhere. And so you need to know your purpose. You need to have vision for your life. But I believe after you have your vision, after you have your purpose, it is so important to write your goals down. That is so important. Currently 97% of adults goals. As a matter of fact, I just want to put it out there. I wonder how many people are joining in now with Coffee with Bridgett. How many of you guys have written your goals down? You have goals for 2021. How many of you all have written your goals down? If you have your goals written down, you need to say it in the feed. Say goals. But that's one of the things.
Goals. If you have your goals written down, listen to some good stuff Wanda's giving you. Put it in the comments. Goals. Okay.
Right, so you need to have it, because I believe you just shouldn't think it, you should ink it. And a lot of people think it, but they don't ink it. And you don't realize how you're more likely to achieve your goals when you write them down versus when you just think about them. And so it's so important to just not think about your goals, the goals that I want to have for this year, but you need to write them down. And the real reason I believe that this is so important is because when you just think about your goals, you're only using the right side of your brain. That's the imaginative center of your brain. But when you write your goals down, you're using the left side, which is the logical side of your brain. So when you think about your goals and write them down, you're combining your entire brain to go to work for you. And so it's not enough just for you to think about your goals. You got to ink your goals. So don't just think it, you need to ink it. So that's one strategy or one process to begin it. Once you know your vision, once you know your purpose, you need to write that baby down. And not only write it down, you should write it down every day.
That's good. If you hear that, she said you need to write it down every day. And so I like that you said about using your whole brain, because I think a lot of us do ourselves a disservice. We do ourselves a disservice because once we come up with a goal, we expect to see full manifestation the next day. Yeah. And so there's a process that you have to go through for goal setting. And so with that being said, seeing a constant reminder, I like you say, if you think it, you got to ink it. See, a constant reminder, seeing the visual representation, it gets embedded in your heart, your mind, your soul, and your spirit. And then once you can speak it and utter it out on a consistent basis, that is the thing that you are carrying, because not only are you giving birth to your promise and to your purpose, but it's also become a part of who you are.
Mm-hmm. And Bridgett, one of the things, I have it right here, you can go to the dollar store, you can get a journal from the dollar store. Look, and I write my goals down every single day. Every single day before I start my day, I write my goals down. But I find that by me writing my goals down, it helps me to stay on track. It helps me to stay focused. It helps me to stay in alignment with my purpose. So it's hard to lose focus on my goals when I'm writing them down every day. And so
it's hard to lose focus when y'all make sure y'all like this video, share this video, and invite other people that that needs to watch this. And those of you who will be watching the replay, make sure that you pause the video, go get your notepad, your pen, or your journal, and start writing down your goals like Wanda said.
That's one strategy. Something practical that you can do is write them down.
And so after you write them down, how many times a day do you read them?
I review my goals twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening. I have my little list name. I took my goals and I printed them out and I put them in a nice frame. So it sits on my desk every day. So when I come into my office to go to work, I'm also not only reviewing my goals, but writing my goals, but I'm also reviewing them by just looking at them every day. I believe out of sight, out of mind. And so if you don't review your goals, then you're going to lose your goals. And so it's so important to review them so you don't lose them. Out of sight, out of mind really is a practical situation that will happen if you're not constantly reviewing your goals. I just believe, why have goals and you not review them daily? Why do you even have them? And so you need to review your goals on a daily basis.
I like that. You said if you don't review your goals, you lose them. So let's go back to the goal setting process. So you said you write your goals down every day. How much time do you spend on that?
Oh my gosh, only about 3 minutes. Three
Okay.
minutes. It just takes 3 minutes to write down 10 goals. I have 10 goals that I set every year, 2 in each category, and I don't have time to go through the category, but if you want me to, I can. But I have 10 goals down, and I write those same 10 goals down every day. But here's the key. I do not look at the goals that I wrote down the day before. So in other words, I write my 10 goals down one day, and then the next day I write the same 10 goals down. This is what I do in January. Now, if I find myself keep forgetting one particular goal, that means my brain is telling me, my mind, my spirit is telling me that goal isn't important enough for you to go after that goal this year. It's for another season. And so
Wait. I need you to say that again. That was good. Say that again now.
So I write my goals down every day. And when I write them down once a day, the next day I do not go back and look at what I wrote down the day before. Because if I find myself keep forgetting one particular goal, that is an indicator to me and to my spirit. That goal is not important enough during this season. That's why you keep forgetting it. And so I just focus on the goals that I keep remembering, because those are the goals. That's how I get it on the outside, because you can get it on the inside. It's going to eventually.
Wow, that was good. That was really good. That was good. So how many of y'all are going to start writing down your goals every single day and then reviewing them every single day? And so you're right. The more that you write it, not only will you remember it, you'll start speaking it. It becomes a part of your everyday life. And I like how you said, if you can't remember it, that means it's not time for it in this season. That was powerful. So let's talk a little bit about the categories. So we got a few minutes to talk about the categories. Y'all get your questions ready, because let me tell y'all something. Y'all are getting these strategies from the expert in this field. Wanda has an amazing book. She has a goal setting academy, and she's going to definitely share all that information with you. But this is a good point now. We're half of this year. The world is beginning to open back up. So you've had time now to look at goals. You've had time now to create goals. We all been in the house for a year. You had time to get a plan together. If you didn't get a plan together, tonight we are commissioning you to get your plan together, because we cannot no longer keep professing things out of our mouths, but we don't manifest it by writing it.
Yeah.
See, the difference when you say things and when you write things. When you say it, you put in the atmosphere, yes. But when you write it, that means now it's become manifestation, because you can touch it. So we cannot just keep speaking things and claiming things and proclaiming things, but don't do the strategy or do the execution process to actually get it to the level and to the magnitude of which we desire.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's really good, and that is so true what you're saying. Again, it goes back to, you can't just do part of the work and expect the entire harvest to show up. You have to do it all. I like in goal setting to a combination lock. Remember those combination locks, Bridgett, where you had to line up all the numbers? Remember back in the day? I know I'm kind of dating stuff, but you had to line up all the numbers, and if you lined up all the numbers correctly, you had the right combination, you won't be able to unlock the combination lock. Remember that? Well, yes. To me, I look at goal setting the same way. If you don't do all that needs to be done, listen, you're going to keep pulling at that goal and nothing is unlocking, because you're missing out on some steps. And so you need to know the combination.
That's good. You definitely need to know the combination. And then the other thing too, the fact that once you have gotten to a place where you can get the lock unlocked, that opens the door and the segue for you to unlock the keys to the other goals that are on your list.
Good. That's good.
Yes, let's talk about these categories. We're going to have to y'all get y'all questions ready, all right? Get y'all questions ready. Get y'all questions ready, because I'm telling you, this is expert advice that you will not always get on this platform. And I think it's so important now, when you have the access to people like this, that you ask them the questions now. All right, let's talk about the categories.
Okay, so there are 5 categories that I set for myself at the beginning of every year. And I call them the 5 F's. So your faith category. So I select two goals that I want to achieve in the faith category. So you have your faith category, you have your fitness category. You know, how much weight do you want to lose? How much weight do you want to gain? You know, some people don't want to lose weight. Some people want to gain weight. You know, how often do you want to work out? So I have a fitness category. I also have a finance category. How much do you want to save? You know, how much debt do you want to get out? You should want to get out all your debt, but what bills you want to focus on in this season at this particular time? So I have my faith, my finance, my fitness, but then also I have my futuristic goals. What goals that you want to work on? What goals you want to see yourself achieving in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years? You want to write those down. You want to already have those in your view. And then I have my family goals, because one thing about myself, I don't want to focus on my own personal goals, but then I lose my family in the process. And sometimes you have.
Well, I'm gonna add another F to this.
You gonna add another F?
Yeah, we're gonna have fashion goals too. You know, we have fashion goals, because we doing all these other things. If we losing weight, gaining weight, at some point we're gonna have to change our wardrobe. And because as you start to execute these goals, you know, the things that you wore may not work for where you are now. So that is so important. I think it's important that you have those goals. And what I have learned, the more that I am in business and the more that I've now started to be able to facilitate in different environments and sit at different tables, there are certain places I go that require a certain look, because I need to know that once I have left your presence, that I've left a memorable impression on you. Mm-hmm. So having a fashion goal is important. And the fashion goal, might I add, it's not for other people. It's for you.
That's good.
It's for you. All of the goals that you've listed are things that help, that we all should embody, things that we all should manifest, because ultimately everything that we do should be tied to our purpose and to our legacy. Mm-hmm. And so those things should be leading the pathway, illuminating the pathway for your legacy. I like when you said it's not too late to be great. No, it's not too late to be great. And guess what else? It's not too late to finish what you started, because a lot of people started things and did not finish them. The pandemic gave you a chance to finish some things that you did not start. So now it's not too late to be great, and it's not too late to finish.
That's good. I love that. I'm going to add that up to my category, my fashion goals.
Yes, because now, you know, think about it. Your goal setting academy, you know, you're going to be touring at HBCUs. You know, you're going to be you may even be doing like some Lean Six Sigma training, and you having a goal setting in. Those environments are different. It doesn't mean you got to be suited and booted. No, but it also means that you're in a different place. And here's the other thing too. When you start to accomplish your goals, I know for me, once I start to accomplish my goals, my desires, and the things that I crave for, they change. Mm-hmm. They change. And they change because of now I've been introduced to different people. I've been introduced to different atmospheres. I've been introduced to different conversations. And watch this, because y'all know I'm not afraid to talk about money. You're introduced to different money mindsets. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because if we stay at the same money mindset that we are at, we are missing out on some of these categories that you gave us. Mm-hmm. And we can't blame it on the devil. We have to blame it on ourselves. Because you just gave us the roadmap. You just gave us the roadmap. So these categories, how did you come up with these categories?
I'm sorry, how did I come up with them?
Yes.
It was something I looked at the 5 areas that would make me more balanced and whole in my life. And those are my values. I just believe that it's hard to set goals when you do not know your values. What is important to you? What is it that you will not compromise on? I'm not going to compromise my faith. I'm not going to compromise my fitness. I'm not going to compromise my finance, my future, nor my family. So those are the things that are important to me. And now I'm not going to compromise on my fashion.
Come on, see, See, because you came already ready for us today too, which is a great segue into my next question.
Okay.
So because I know, but I don't know that all my CEOs know, because you know I call my community my CEOs.
Yes.
My CEOs, because you're the chief executive officer of your own life.
Mm-hmm.
You can write your own story.
Yes.
And now I'm gonna borrow that from you. It's not too late to be great. It's not too late for you to write your own story. No matter where you are in life, and no matter what life has dealt you, whether life has dealt you circumstances that you did not foresee, it's still not too late. So, because I had the opportunity to participate in a micro learning session with Wanda about goal setting, and she gave so many different stories. And so the one story that stuck out to me more than anything was a story that you told about Kobe Bryant. That story, yeah, I remembered everything that you said, but that was the one story about the practicing and about getting up early and just about really preparing yourself. Because see, I want everybody to know success does not come without preparation. You got to prepare for success. When you got goals, you got to prepare. So you told us the story about Kobe Bryant, which I'll never forget. But then you also told us a story or gave us some statistics and told us about the number that's on your shirt right there, my friend. Yes. So, because I know, but I want you to share it with all of my CEOs here. Let's talk about your shirt and the importance of what that number is on your shirt.
Okay, so my shirt says, on my fashionable shirt, it says, I am a part of the 8%. And the 8%, and that's pretty much my brand. I'm a part of the 8%. And where I got that from was, there was a research done by 92%. I don't know if you guys realize that that is a wide range. But she said from that 92% of individuals set goals, but only 8% achieve their goals. And to be a part of the 8%, because only 8% of them 8%. So this is how you do. You just give me 8 fingers and you go gangster with it.
I love when you
inside and just 8%.
I love that.
Yes,
I love that. I love that. So I was so hyped when you told us that. So I hope y'all doing your 8%. And if you do the 8%, please take a picture and tag Wanda in it so that she can see you doing the 8%. And so I like that she gave us the statistics. They talk about 92% of people who set goals do not complete their goals. Only 8% set their goals. And so I know I have committed, ever since I heard you say that, I've committed to being a part of the 8%. And so I am a person who likes challenges. So if you challenge me with something, because I think that's part of me being a little bit stubborn, I don't want to feel like I didn't do the task, or I don't want to feel like that I didn't complete something. It may take me a minute or two, but I got to stay in the 8% club. Okay. Even when the world, I got to stay in the 8% club. So I need to make sure y'all are in this 8% club. Okay. This 8% club.
8 all day.
8 all. Listen, I need y'all to put in the comments 8 all day. 8 all day. So the 8% club, and then you wrote a book. So let's talk about your book.
So I wrote a book, Go for the Goal, and pretty much I give people practical strategies on what they can do to be a part of the 8% and also to remain within the 8%. And so I did I wrote over about 100 pages worth of information of strategies, self-discipline techniques, because I also find that people, they lack achieving their goals because they lack self-discipline. And that is really big. If you don't really have any self-discipline, if you lack self-discipline, if you don't really become strong with self-discipline, you'll find yourself really losing ground with your goals are concerned. So in my book, I talk about strategies. I give them 11 strategies and self-discipline techniques on what they can do to be a part of the 8%. So I have a regular book, and I also have a workbook to go along with it. So I can actually work with people to show them how to be a part of the 8%. I like to say it's like you have the goals coach in your own personal home. It's like having me in your home.
So let's talk about that. So, let's talk about that. You have these goals and you set, and, people get a chance to work with you to actually, achieve their goals. From the perspective of, let's do it twofold. From a perspective of a coach or a, goal strategist, what is the most exciting part for you out of this?
Can you answer one more time? What was the most
exciting part for you out of this being the goal strategist?
Oh, wow. The most exciting part for me, it's a lot of it. I would say two parts, with me doing my Go for the Goal Academy, that's been very exciting for me. But definitely just writing my goals, reviewing my goals, and seeing them manifest. But this Go for the Goal Academy is big. It's been the most exciting thing for me because I get to see entrepreneurs, athletes, students to set their goals and actually see them manifest their goals before their eyes. It's something where you can see people's lives change right before you. And so that is one of the most exciting things for me, really helping individuals to get positive outcomes or positive results in their lives. So yeah.
Eric, thank you for sharing the video. Thank you. So talk about, who are your ideal clients and how do people find you?
My ideal clients, funny because you pretty much talked about that. I'm starting to find myself veer off into a different type of clientele, if you will. We're going more into the school districts. I'm into this thing now of training the teachers. I grew, if not all of us, most of us, if not all of us, when we went to school, they never taught us about goal setting in our classes. They never taught us about, I went to college and I've never been taught about goal setting. And so I had the opportunity every semester. I'm a guest instructor at the Community College of Philadelphia, and I teach students how to set and achieve their goals. And when I sit and listen to these students and talk to these students, I find that a lot of them they lack knowledge, information on how to set goals. They just want to be rich. They want to just make more money, but don't have no goals. Don't have no goals on how to get them there. And so my heart has been towards students, towards individuals in school. And so because I cannot get into the school system, I now have an open door where I can now train teachers on how to set goals for their lives. And if they learn how to set goals for their lives, it's going to translate into their classrooms. And they can teach their students on how to set goals for their lives. And so now, I'm starting to veer off really into the school system where I'm teaching individuals on how to set goals.
Right. So I think it's good that you're getting an opportunity to teach teachers. Like, that's so important to be able to teach the teachers. And, I also think that it's really good now because I think now, the pandemic gave everybody a different onset of life itself.
Okay.
And so now this is the perfect time for people to be revisiting their goals, and I like the fact that you talk about, people just want more money. No, but you got to have a goal. Even when it comes to money, you got to have money goals. You got to have money mindset. You got to have money milestones. So let's talk a little bit about, small ways that people can start that. And so one of the things that you do, and sometimes I'm not able to catch it live, but I do go back and watch it. Let's talk about lunchtime goals.
Well, I got lunchtime goals from you, Bridgett. I mean, that was from heaven right there. And so that is something I do just on a small scale every Wednesday at 12 noon. I do a live recording of me just giving strategies, tips, and just tools on how to set and achieve their goals. And I just do it for 8 minutes, 8 all day. I do it for 8 minutes. I sit and I just share with, everyone on the Facebook Live and on YouTube as well, on just how to set and achieve their goals. And I do it through lunchtime goals. And I find it's been very instrumental for me. Now I'm doing something called You Go Girl. You go, girl.
I love
Tip
it.
of the day. And so I just share with them one goal setting tip that will help them to motivate them towards achieving their goals. And so, yeah, that's what I'm doing on a smaller scale.
So I incorporated something in one of my sessions, and I call it my goal mind session. And when I say goal mind, like if you were actually going through an actual goal mind, and that is the brain dump, because people have a goal mind of ideas, construct. And so we use that to really get everything that's inside of them out. Because before I can help you build an infrastructure, I need to hear everything that's inside of you, because I find it so important. So for any entrepreneurs that are listening to us, we have 5 million ideas. We want to do all 5 million of them at one time. And so that's why I call it a goal mind. You have a goal mind of ideas, but you can't execute them all at one time. Having these categories, or whatever categories that you need for your life, that will help you when it comes to organizing your business life as well as your personal life. Having those goals is so important. So let's talk a little bit about people who have seen success with, after working with you through their goals. Do you find that people now make goal setting a way of life for them?
Oh, absolutely. I've been doing webinars. I've been doing this across the United States. I've been in churches, organizations. And so I love the stories. I love the transformation that happens when people come alive and realize, hey, again, it's not too late for me to be great. And really what I find out, Bridgett, is that most people, they're looking for a system. They have these ideas, they have this vision, they have, they know their purpose, but they don't have the system on how to bring that to pass. On the other word, they don't have a system on how to birth what's on the inside of them and to come out into reality. And so, I love to see how those things happen. I've seen entrepreneurs, like an attorney, as a result of her taking one of my classes. As a matter of fact, she's part of the Go for the Gold Academy, and she used to struggle with charging, and she's an attorney. She's a great attorney. She used to struggle charging individuals really the going rate for attorneys. She's a sweetheart, and so she always want to help people out. But I was teaching her, listen, you have your financial goals, you have your family goals. Don't leave no money on the table. You need to get it all.
All of it. All of it. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Laverne, for sharing. Yeah, all of it. Yes, all of it.
And so I've seen her, with her being an attorney, now she's charging what she should have been charging for the beginning, and people are actually paying it. Mm-hmm. Ourselves, we say no to anyone else can. She thought people would reject her and say, no, I'm not going to pay that. People don't know what your payment rate is anyway. And so just go ahead and just offer it. So I've seen that. So she has now started her own practice, her own business as an attorney, and it is flourishing. I have a couple of event planners. I've seen their business take off as a result of being a part of the Go for the Gold Academy. Students, now they have vision, they have vision, they have goals for their lives. Some students, they'll go to school and they don't know what they want to do. They don't know what they want to become. They don't know what they want to get involved in. But by having some goals now, it kind of steered them. And you kind of led into it. It's like a GPS. It's going to lead you into really what you want to get into, really what you want to go. And so those are some examples that I've seen, even with my own son. My son is about to graduate from high school next week. And we had a goal for him to get a Division I scholarship, and we're working with him. And look, he haven't had any offers yet, but there's some things out there that's in the making. And so I'm believing that it's going to happen for my own son as well, because I don't want these things to happen for everyone else, and it's not even manifesting my own family. And so yeah, really good. It's going really well.
Mm-hmm. I believe that. And so I like you, I love your level of commitment to this work and your level of commitment to other people. And the Go for Gold Academy, I think, is brilliant. Like, it's absolutely brilliant. And so I want to talk about in our last few minutes. See, our time go by so fast because we down to like our last 10 minutes. See, listen. So if y'all got any questions, ask your questions now, or either put them in the comments later. Ask your questions now. But listen, I see that my CEOs is sharing the video. All right. They sharing the video. Get this. So, Wanda, one of the things that I think is so key when it comes to goal setting is that staying. Oh, we got a question for you. How do you start setting goals? Then I'll come back to my comment. Wanda, what's the question? Here's the question for you. How do you start setting goals?
How do you start setting goals? I believe it starts from a desire. What is it that you want to do? Mm-hmm. Where is it that you want to go? Who do you want to become? Because I just don't believe, goal setting is not so much about reaching goals. It's about becoming your goals. Mm-hmm. Who is it that you want to become? What is it that you're after? So first being able to identify what is it that you want. So that's how I started. Where do I want to see my life ended up? Mm-hmm. What do I want to accomplish? And so I really did examine. I spent some time with myself because I wanted to make sure it was something that I wanted to achieve and not a goal that I was achieving for somebody else, if that makes sense. Sometimes we set goals to please everyone else and we're not setting goals to please ourselves. But then again, I realized sometimes we don't even know what we want. And so you have to spend time with yourself to really know what it is that you want. What is it that you want to become? What is it that you want to accomplish? Start there.
Yeah, I agree. Start there, figuring out what it is that you want, what it is that you want to accomplish. And then also I agree with everything that you said. And I also think that it's so important that whenever you have that item that keeps you up at night, the one thing that's always on your mind, do your research on that. I'm not saying to jump out and say that it's your goal, but do your research on that. See if that's something that you are drawn to. If there is a magnet to you on a particular item or thing, or and to start there. You also start with being transparent with yourself.
And you know what, Bridgett? This is an exercise that I do at the end of the year, December 31st. Well, I should say really at the beginning of the year. At the beginning of the year, one of the exercises that I do, I'll ask myself, December 31st. Even though I understand it's January 1st, I'll close my eyes and I will imagine that. First, I ask myself, for you to say this has been the most amazing year of year, what happened? What happened with your family? Then write that down. What happened with your finance? What happened with your future? What happened, with your faith? For you to say this has been the most amazing, 2021 has been the most amazing year. For me to say that, what would have to happen? Write those answers down and make that your goal for 2021.
That's good. Yes, I love that. And so I want to repeat what Wanda just said. I think is good. What you say at the end of the year, write down, if you say this was an amazing year, write down what happened that made it so amazing. And then think about, for 2022, what would make 2022 amazing for you? And this is one of the things that I do, and I guess I need to incorporate this in my goals. And that is, I start visualizing what will my life be like with this next level that I desire.
Good.
And then I start operating in that mindset.
That's good. I love it.
Yeah. And once I start operating in that mindset, it increases my faith. Mm-hmm. And once it increases my faith, it increases my execution. Mm-hmm. And then once my execution is increased, that is when I see transformation.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
So Wanda, what can we expect from you for the rest of this year? What can we expect to go for the goal?
What's some of the goals that I'm working on for this year?
No, just in general for your brand, for your overall personal brand. What can we expect from you this year?
Well, one of the things you can expect from me to expand my Go for the Goal Academy. At this point, I have 3 tiers, but I'm looking to extend it to like a mastermind level for the Go for the Goal Academy. So that's one thing that you can expect from me. You can expect to see me in the school systems. I am going to be in the school system, y'all.
Yes, you are. Y'all put it in the comments. You will be in the school system. We speaking it. We putting pressure on this. You will be in the school system.
I will be in the school system.
Yeah.
We want to
Yes.
get our kids, our young kids, our high schoolers, they want to know about goal setting so that they can set themselves up to succeed. And so you can look for me to be in goal setting and into the school districts this year. And also you can look for me, you know, one of the things, another big goal that I have, Bridgett, I want to be on the Today Show. I don't want to just limit this, you know, just locally. I want people to understand how important goal setting is. I want to increase that 8%. I don't want it to stay at 8%. We need to increase, but in order to increase it, everyone needs to know about it. So, and I'm writing another book this year because it's such right. The children need to learn how to set goals. That's something else that you're going to see from me, and you're going to see a children's book this year as well.
I love that you said you want to be on a Today Show. I love that. I love that. And so one of the things so I have really three big TV goals. Number one is I want to be on Black Girls Rock. I want to be presenting an award to somebody on Black Girls Rock. That's one thing I want to do. That's number one. The second thing that I want to do is that I want to be a red carpet correspondent for something for E! News. I want to do one that. The third thing is that, so I do have the talk show coming up. I'm still working on the content for all of that, but I want to have the opportunity to be a syndicated talk show. So I'm putting it out there. We putting pressure on these TV shows, okay? We putting pressure. Right. Listen, right. I look at the Oprah Winfrey Network and I look at the stories. And so I am the person when it comes to goal setting. I love hearing about other people's story. But I don't want to hear the story of I don't want to hear the story of them making it. I want to hear the story of the struggle. Granted, everybody's struggle or come up is not the same, but I want to understand the intensity. I want to understand the mindset. I want to understand where you were before you got to this place. For me, I think that's important because I'm a critical thinker. And so for those of us who have critical thinking skills, I want to analyze every single thing. Because I think for me, with hearing that, it helps me to avoid making certain decisions. Mm-hmm. It helps me avoid doing certain things. Mm-hmm. So yes, absolutely. That's right, Tina. Tina said Wanda will be on the Today Show. Wanda will be in the school system. And Bridgett will be on like, y'all better know it. Listen, I'm telling y'all, this has been like a fun-filled hour. We are down to our last 10 minutes. See, Wanda, I told you, see how fast it go by? It goes by so fast. And y'all, thank y'all for bearing with us because it is like thunder, lightning, rain, and everything like crazy here. But we were still able to make it through the show. But just before we do our parting remarks, I want to go back and just remind you, Kim, if you could put the screen back up again, remind you, if you would sign up for my diversity consortium, I will put the link on my page for you to register for the diversity consortium, as well as the Institute for Supply Management, my diversity happy hour, which is a great networking opportunity. Next week, we are focusing on interpreter skills, and that's for my DEI work that I do with my clients, as well as in the community. We're doing a diversity rewind, talking about where we are now after the first 6 months. You know, we've dealt with social injustice. You know, we've dealt with the verdict of Mr. George Floyd. We've dealt with so many different things, but now let's talk about, you know, where we were, but where we're going, because whether you know it or not, DEI work affects us all. It affects us all. We are this work. So that is one thing I want to invite you to. The second thing is the Institute for Supplier Diversity Management. ISM Philadelphia Virtual Supplier Diversity Summit. I am speaking about, I'm speaking from the perspective of the Brandtastic Professional Development, talking about your executive presence, how you show up in the marketplace. When people meet, what are they saying? When people leave your presence, what are they saying? And how you're able to pitch yourself to the big box companies. All right, there, I said it. Those are a couple of things you're going to get from me. You know, how do you pitch yourself? Because we cannot keep thinking small-minded, which is why I was glad to have this session tonight about goal setting. And I love your desk plate, goal digger. Listen, you got to keep digging out these goals. You have to keep doing that. And guess what? If you realize that June the 3rd at 7:53 p.m. is a minute lost is a minute lost forever. You never get this time back. So now it's time to maximize it. Maximize your greatness, maximize your authenticity, and maximize your goals. All right, Wanda. So just before we go, can you tell all of my lovely CEOs where they can find you?
You can find me at www.wandamartin.org. That is my website, and that's where you'll find all the information in regards to purchasing the book, enrolling in the Go for the Goal Academy. The next enrollment will be in September. It's a 12-month course, and so that is when the next enrollment will take place. But you can find all that information, but just by visiting www.wandamartin.org.
Yes, y'all listen. Y'all got to listen. I'm telling you, go follow Wanda Martin. Because I don't want y'all to wait until y'all see her on the on the Today Show, and you see me on Black Girls Rock when you had the chance to hang out with us now. Okay, see, listen. This is what happens. When we get to the next level, we may not always be accessible. So we want to get you in while while we have the accessibility, even though it's getting tough now. It's getting tough now, Wanda. It's getting tough now. But we were made for this. We got this. But listen, make sure you go to Wanda's website, check out her website. Make sure you follow her give everybody your Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram is Go for the Goal. So it's Go for the Goal Instagram, and then also for Facebook it's the same thing. Go for the Goal on Facebook. So you can just put in Go for the Goal. You'll find me on Instagram and also Facebook. And I also have a YouTube channel, the same. Go for the Goal. Yeah. And so that's where you can find an archive of all of my lunchtime goals and tip for the days and different things of that nature. So it's a lot of information out there that's going to help you to just get some positive results in your life through simple goal setting strategies and self-discipline techniques. And so it's out there, so you have no excuse.
Yeah, no excuse. And so in our last couple of minutes, just before we give our parting words, I just wanted to add also too, because of those of you who know me, who've been following me for a while, you know how much I love God and I love God's people. And so Wanda is also a faithful church member and a faithful pastor and a faithful pastor's wife. So Wanda, can you give your church a shout out for us?
Yes, I want to give a shout out to both campus, Philly and Pottstown, Higher Ground International. Y'all know how we do it, 8%.
Yeah, so please make sure that you go and follow Wanda and get some of these goal setting strategies, because we want to make sure that you're fully equipped, that once the world opens back up, we want you to be on track, to really achieving your goals. And then also to Wanda, I'm gonna have you come back in December. We're gonna do a recap to see how people are with their goals. See what they're doing, at the beginning of the year. Talk about your class, what's coming up, how they can get in a 12-month program for goal setting. So what are your parting words to my CEOs?
My parting words for you guys is listen, and Bridgett, you almost talked about it. Kobe Bryant said this: never get bored with the basics. Never get bored doing the basic. You may feel as though it's basic just for me to write my goals down. It's basic for me to review my goals. It's basic for me to think about my goals, to have accountability when it comes to all those things may seem basic. But listen, the basic work, they always have and they always will. Never get bored doing the basic, because the basic is going to take you from where you are to where you want to be. It happened for Kobe Bryant. Look, I know it's going to happen for you as well. Yeah. Never get bored doing the basics. Stick with the basic. You don't have to do all this fancy stuff. Just stick with just the basic. The basics, they really work.
Yes. Thank you, Wanda. It's been such a joy to have you here with us. So make sure you follow Wanda. So if you're not following me, you can follow me on all platforms under Bridgett Battles. My website is www.thebbexperience.com. And you can get your Coffee with Bridgett coffee mug at www.thebbexperience.com. Tonight has been such a delight. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We appreciate you. We are excited about so many things that are happening. We've got some great opportunities that are coming up, and the speaking circuit has picked up significantly. And we're so grateful and so excited to share with all of you. One of my greatest gifts is to be a blessing to other people. And so tonight, I hope we were a blessing to you and to encourage you on this journey. All right. So Wanda, we post at the end of every episode. You got your cup?
Got my cup.
All right. Cheers. Everybody take care and have a good night.